Hey gang, what's up? Welcome back here to another edition of Intuitive Angling, and really appreciate you guys watching the video and making some time for it. Always grateful for that. And guys, today we're going to talk about anglers that think they know everything about fishing out there, because I swear, if I listen to a bunch of comments that I get on my channel, I might as well just quit making fishing videos, because everybody knows that everybody seems to know everything or think they know everything there is to know about fishing out there. I've had a rash of comments here the last couple weeks. I'm going to share with you guys here a little bit here and sort of discuss this whole thing about guys that think they know everything about fishing. Also, before we get started, guys, here just a big thank you to everybody out there that's been subscribing here to Intuitive Angling. I really appreciate that. And also a big thank you to everybody that's been using all my links I put in the descriptions to all the things like my Tackle Warehouse link and Solar Bat and all that. Much appreciated you guys supporting the channel by doing that. Okay, guys, man, I have been getting a lot of comments lately because it seems like a lot of the videos I do on fishing tips anymore, I'll put something on there about, sort of a little known tip or secret or something like that. And inevitably I get a bunch of guys say, Randy, I'm tired of this. You saying things are secret or this or that. He goes, well, everybody knows about that and everybody's doing that forever. Guys, I'm calling BS on that, because so much of what a lot of guys out there that make those comments that say that everybody knows about that and that's no secret, it's stuff that they have read about. They have not proven it to themselves as far as things that work and figuring out things that work. They're just rehashing, regurgitated information that they've heard from somebody else. True innovation in the sport takes decades to learn. It really does out there. And most people that know anything about bass fishing, they have accumulated a lot of information from other anglers or what they read and that type of stuff. But the thing about it, guys, I'm telling you right now, all these guys out there, if you're one of those guys that say that every time I do a video that's not a secret, you know about it, you don't know as much as what you think you do about fishing. Because let me give you guys an example here. Okay, say for example, I've got I'll say something about you need to try this, little known or secret color of Megabass Vision 110. Inevitably somebody says, Randy, that's no secret. There's no secret to anything you do. Okay, if there's no secret to there, go ahead and fill in the rest of the blanks. I give you the color to use and you fill in everything else, all the variables that determine when and how you use that. For example, if I tell you that a deadly black shad color is one of my secret lures under certain conditions out there, let me hear the secret conditions if you know everything about there. Tell me the exact amount of sunlight intensity that has to be coming down out of the skies. Tell me the exact type of cloud. Is it a cumulus cloud? Is it a cirrus cloud? Tell me in correlation with that, what's the wind speed? It's going to have to be. Is the wind, 5-10 miles an hour? What direction is the wind, coming from? What's the angle of the sunlight? Give me an equation on the water visibility. Let me know something about the water tint. Is it a bluish tint? Is it a brackish tint? Is it a tannic acid tint? On top of that, tell me something about the line size when I'm throwing it. Do you have to throw it on 6, 8, 10, 12 pound test line? Tell me about the cadence. You tell me specifically the type of rhythm and cadence that you have to use to get that deadly black shad to work. On top of that, tell me the rod action. Tell me the correlation between the rod action and the type of action you're trying to impart on it. Tell me about the casting angle. Tell me about how you approach the cover and how you got your trolling motor has to glide perfectly into a piece of cover in correlation with the right casting angle in order to generate that strike. Then tell me how each species of bass reacts to that color. Tell me, how the largemouth bass react to it. Tell me how the spotted bass react to it. Tell me how the smallmouth bass react to it in correlation with different type of water clarities and sunlight conditions and light intensities. Now, if you can tell me that, then, you probably know more than what other people do. But if you can't fill in those blanks out there, stop commenting on that, Randy, that's a secret everybody knows about, because it is a secret. You guys don't know, or I'm saying you guys, some of you guys that are common don't know as much about fishing as you think you do out there. And I'm not saying that I know everything about it either. I'm telling you that there's a lot more to tips and techniques that whether I give it to you or other YouTube pros give it to you out there, there's a lot more to it than the obvious. We're just scraping the surface on it. Everything else has got to come into play in order to maximize the efficiency of a technique. And that's why the information that I put out on these YouTube videos, it's not as obvious as it seems. A lot of people try to oversimplify fish. And yeah, you're going to be able to catch fish if you don't do everything right and if you slop through an area. But what I'm trying to do, guys, is I'm trying to pass on information that will maximize the number of fish you catch and maximize the efficiency you have on the water, and you be able to reproduce it and have consistent results on different bodies of water out there. Bass fishing is a very complicated, very difficult sport when you do it in the traditional means. And when I talk about bass fishing, guys, I'm not talking about it in terms of video game fishing. Video game fishing is completely different than real bass fishing out there. Real bass fishing has, as I just described it, is an art form. It's an art form like just as much as knowing how to play the piano or any other musical instrument or anything like that. It takes decades of study and, hard work and focus to master it out there. They say in order to master something, you need to spend 10,000 hours at it. I do agree with that out there. So main thing about it, guys, is if you hear me put out a video and I'm saying something about secret or unheard of or never before, don't jump to conclusions and think you know everything, because I can promise you don't out there. There's so much to it that nobody knows everything about it. There's so much of the sport that is just, it's a mystery to it, and that's a good thing. Some things definitely need to stay a mystery. We don't need to know everything out there. And just try to watch these videos out there and try to absorb and learn something. If I do a 5 or 10 minute video on a technique and I say something about you need to try this secret technique or the secret color on this and that, don't get hung up on the title out there. Watch the video and try to absorb something from it. If I make one point throughout that video that can help you catch a fish, it's going to be worth it. But when you try to critique a video and you try to make it sound like you know it all with it, and nobody can teach you anything out there, you're just basically hurting yourself in that. We can learn something from everybody out there. Everybody can learn something out there, but you have to respect mastery when you know what mastery is out there. And that's why I've got a tremendous amount of respect for people that have done it for decades and decades and decades, because I know the amount of information that they absorb. That absorption only comes from time on the water. It doesn't come from like reading something or watching something. It comes from, putting in the hard work and the dirt time with it on any technique and fishing out there. So anyway, guys, like I said, if you're one of those dudes out there that jump all over the title and say that's not a secret, Randy, you don't know what you're talking about, your videos, it's just the same thing over and over again. Everybody knows what you're talking about. You might do yourself a favor and just admit to yourself that you don't know as much about fishing as what you think you know about it, because nobody does. It's just it's a wonderful, gratifying, frustrating sport all wrapped up into one out there, and that's why we always keep coming back to it out there. So anyway, just wanted to run that all by you. Let me know how you guys feel about that. We'll talk later.